Alrighty. Good morning. This shirt's actually tight, and it was actually like fucked up because this is supposed to be XL, but it's not. I think it's obvious how I feel about live action adaptations of games and movies and animes and cartoons. They're terrible. 99% of them are terrible. The only exception I could give that are good are the Resident Evil live action, the first one, and the Uncharted, and that's about it. Any other live action adaptations that I can remember were just fucking terrible. And needless to say, this Netflix adaptation of the Resident Evil series is just fucking god awful. Where do I start? Well, let's start with the fact that it doesn't even feel like a horror show. It feels like a fucking drama angst teen show. Really. Like, there's absolutely fuck all to do with any scary moments or horror. And it's just a show that Netflix decided to just vomit out. Like, I'm so glad that Game of Thrones ended. Even though I never watched the show, I've seen people say, wow, season 8 was just fucking dog shit. It was just absolute horrible. But the issue is that Netflix was able to actually adapt or make good live action shows. Like Stranger Things and The Witcher. And they couldn't do it for this game? Well, actually the reason why is because unlike those two shows, The Stranger Things and The Witcher, the writers and the directors have actually done their research. You want me to tell you what research did the director and the writers of Resident Evil did for the live action adaptation? Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. All they heard was T-Virus, Albert Wesker, and zombies. That's it. So I'm there watching the entire show. I watched the entire season, and wow, it's terrible. It's really fucking bad. No joke. And I'm there going, what's the story of this one? Because every Resident Evil actually has a story. As a matter of fact, there is an entire timeline that you could look it up of Resident Evil starting from 0 all the way up to 7. Of course, Resident Evil 8 wasn't included because it was very early. It was these videos were made in 2020 before Resident Evil 8. So I'm there going, what the fuck is going on? What's the story? Where's the character development? Why the fuck is it that they're using the same fucking T-virus that there is? Right now, I could think up the top of my head how many different kinds of viruses and parasites are there in the entire game. Like, the entire timeline of the game. But they still keep using the fucking T-virus. What happened to Las Plagas? What happened to Ouroboros? What happened to the C, the G, and the T-virus? Oh, not the T-virus, but I mean, like, they keep on using the T-virus. Why? And not only that, but it's like, I'm pretty sure that there's also the new virus, you know, the Molder. What happened to that? The D-type series or E-type series Molder. Hello? Or what about the Kato? You know, the latest fucking parasite that there is in the Resident Evil series. It fucking boggles my mind. It really does. But now, let's put away the whole T-virus shit. How about, get this. How about the fact that they just reskinned William Birkin but renamed him Albert Wesker and made him look different. Yeah, the Albert Wesker, the clone, by the way, both of them are just clones of William Birkin. Let's see here. Loving father who tries his best and works under the company that makes bioweapons. Oh, does this sound similar? And also cares about their daughter. This sounds exactly like William Birkin. As a matter of fact, this is William Birkin. Without the whole transformation. Hello? Now that we're done with that, the story of the show is just everywhere. Like, fuck all. And it's like, it's everywhere, but it's going nowhere. Somehow they managed to do that, and that is impressive. And let's not forget the fact that these characters during these stories make the dumbest fucking mistake ever. Reminder, this is 2022. So far there should be a lot of zombie movies and shit like that, survival tactic, all that stuff. Why are these people making stupid fucking mistakes in 2022? Can we also, like, talk about the fact that they don't call zombies zombies? They call them zeros. Kind of reminds me of a video of somebody who made like a compilation of when the shows don't call the zombies zombies and they call them and they make a new fucking name. Oh my god, watch out for the roamers. Look out, the walkers. Look, watch out, you might get attacked by a biter. It's like, just call them zombies. Why are you calling them zeros? There's no reason. There's absolutely no fucking reason. Like, what? Do you have to make a new fucking name for zombies? No. The only time that they needed to make a new name for the zombies was when they were not infected with the virus, but instead it was a Las Plagas. Or like, yeah, it was just Las Plagas. You know, like in Resident Evil 4, the zombies were called ganados. Why? Because they're not really zombies. They're not acting mindless. They're under the control, but they are mind controlled. The same thing goes for Resident Evil 5. They weren't called zombies. They were called Maginis. Why? The same thing as Resident Evil 4. They weren't mindless. They were under the control. And they attacked in coordination. Something that zombies don't do. I want to go back to the T-Virus actually because, like, how many movies is it? There is in total of 6 movies of Resident Evil. And within all 6 of those, they kept using the T-Virus. I'm so curious. Hey, Ma. Now, let's make like a whole list. I'll just start from here. Right here we got Resident Evil 1. Both the movie and the game. T-Virus. Okay, makes sense. Now we got Resident Evil 2. Okay. T-Virus. But in the game, there's also the G and T virus. Alright. How about Resident Evil 3? Okay, they're back to the T virus. But this time, there's a different strain of the T virus in Resident Evil 3, the game. Where they made where they used it to make Nemesis. Then we get to Resident Evil 4. What do we have here? In the movie, they're still using the T-virus. What? But in the game, they're using Las Plagas, a new found in the mines parasite that gives people powers, but also can make them somewhat mind controlled, like takes over the host's body. Then we have the Resident Evil 5 movies, the same shit. In the other movies, T-virus. Hello? We're past that. Why is there still the T-virus? But in Resident Evil 5, we've got Ouroboros, a whole new different type of parasite virus. And then in Resident Evil 6, of course, they go back. Yeah, it's like a virus, sure, but it's not T or G. It's a whole new one, the C virus. What about the game? I mean, what about the movie? The movie is still using the T virus. Why? And then they remake the fucking movie again, but this time they try to make it on lore with Resident Evil 2 and 3. But they fucked that up as well. And they still violate the whole stick with the lore shit. Whereas it's funny because this is actually the first time that Leon and Jill make first contact, but they should have never, because they're both in the different parts of the game. And I think that's like the part where they just stop making live action movies, because it's like everybody doesn't like them, and it's now just there for a cash grab. But now that cash grab is like going dry. But with Resident Evil 7, the game, you know what they release? A whole new different type of parasite. A whole new different type of a virus, you could say. I don't know which one it is though. It's the Mulder Evelyn type virus. Not T, not C, not G, not Ouroboros, not Las Plagas, none of that. And it branches and creates a whole new story where you play as Ethan Winters. And in Resident Evil 8, guess what? That's where the Mulder originated from. Also known as the Kato. Or Kado. Or Kado. Whatever you want to call it. A parasite that, given the right type of host, can give them extraordinary powers. Or turn them into a mindless / controllable creature, you could say, because there's like vampires, there's also like werewolves and shit like that, and then there's also the what the fuck is it, the soldats, I think that's what they're called, the guys with the drill for arms. But still, why the fuck are we still using the T virus? It has been over a decade in the game series, by the way, and in the game's storyline, where the T virus is gone. No longer useful. Obsolete. Sure, they're using it again, but they're making different strains and making new types of things. And there's also they're also discovering the fact that there's parasites now, the Plagas and Ouroboros. I think the Ouroboros is a parasite, and also the Kato. Why are we still using the T virus? And now I'm gonna go back to the characters. Where the fuck do I start? This the sister, Billie Eilish. I'm not fucking calling her Billy Wesker. That fucking sounds retarded. Billie Eilish is like flip-flopping back and forth, saying that the T-virus suppressed my emotions and all that stuff. It's like, I don't think that's what the T-virus does. Because I'm going to link it to the Resident Evil Code Veronica X, where we have the T Veronica virus, a different strain made by the Ashford family. And during a time where I think it was Steve was injected with the same strain of the T Veronica virus, he was able to still feel emotions and prevent himself from killing Claire. Especially when he turned into a very fucking freak of a nature monster. So, how the fuck does the T virus do that? And it's not even explained too, by the way. It's not even explained how the T virus does its job. So, yeah. And let's not forget about her sister, Jade the idiot. Why are you hesitating to kill someone when you almost did it over and over and over again? And can we like also go back to the fact that this is the dumbest shit, the most girl bossiest thing I think I've ever seen, but the character, I can't remember, Evelyn Marcus, was it? Says this exact line. Your grandfather stole this company and tried to shut it down. It's like, no. James Marcus never tried to do that. He tried to continue. And I think he was betrayed by Oswald E. Spencer. No, it was by William Birkin and Albert Wesker. The original William Birkin and Albert Wesker, by the way. Not the fucking movie. And so he got payback by infecting the water stream that went to Raccoon City, by the way. This is part of the game's lore. And I only did a tiny bit of research too. And he was killed off. He didn't want to shut down Umbrella. He didn't want to take revenge on... No, he wanted to take revenge on Umbrella. So, that is a fat fucking lie. And another thing is, it was Oswald E. Spencer who kept Umbrella alive until Albert Wesker killed him off, cutting ties with him, to be exact, because that's how Albert Wesker cuts ties. What the fuck is this show where they try to rewrite the lore of the game into the show? And don't give me this bullshit that it's supposed to be an alternate universe, because it's not. Because they mentioned in 2009 Albert Wesker died, and that there was an Arkley incident, you know, like the one in the games. So, if it's trying to be an alternate universe, why the fuck is it still mentioning shit from the game that actually happened? And speaking of things from the game, somebody said this, and it's like, I envy people that could do this, but you have to shut off your brain and pretend that this show is not even part of the game. But it's impossible to do that when the show keeps making reference after reference after reference after reference to the game. It's impossible when the show keeps connecting itself to the fucking game over and over and over again. Hello? Now, I'm gonna continue with the story, or the writing actually. Forget the story now. I'm gonna go with the writing. This show is unfunny. And I'm talking about... No thanks, I just mostly read Zootopia porn unfunny. Where's the punchline? And if there is, the punchline doesn't exist. Hello? Like, Where's the punchline? Oh, what the fuck? I'm fucking bewildered how garbage this show is. And I hope it gets canceled. I'm pretty sure, I'm not guaranteeing it, but there is a like 90% chance that this show is not gonna have a second fucking season. And the only reason why I say that is because the writing is terrible, the story makes fuck all sense, the character development is non-existent, and the fact that it tries to separate from the games but still keeps on connecting itself to it really shows how far they're like trying to appeal to the audience. Netflix, fix yourself, please. Because the only thing that made me continue to watch the show was fucking Lance Reddick. He was the guy who was fucking carrying the show. Like, hello? It's fucking baffling to me, man. It's really baffling. That the fact that this one actor, who he's great and all, but I don't think they gave him the role of Albert Wesker right. Like, he's nice and all. He's a really good actor. But he was the only one that was carrying the fucking show.